one of the richest men in the world stepped forward and said, enough, not with a tweet and not with a headline, but with $100 billion. Hello, it's Jerrod Zisser here with Occupy Democrats. Today's news is amazing. What was said about Elon Musk today stopped me in my tracks, but we're going to get to that in a moment. But first, everyone is celebrating the first massive trade deal that was spearheaded by none other than Donald Trump. Today, he and his team celebrated the major win after heated negotiations with the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And this is what Fox News showed on live television.
So we feel really good about the deal. You've heard the Prime Minister. He feels really good about the deal. Right? And we started at 10% and we ended at 10%. And the market for America is better. And this is a perfect example of why Donald Trump produced Liberation Day. People don't understand he gets things done in a matter of time. This would have taken Jameson and I 3 years, maybe. And instead, we got it done in 45 days, certainly, because we work for Donald Trump. So we feel really good about the deal.
But here's the thing. They said they started at 10% and then they ended at 10%. That's no change. That's no breakthrough. And yet they acted like they just landed a moon mission. Sure, they made a small change, but it wasn't even worth mentioning. This is the pattern we keep seeing. Create a problem or pretend one exists, then solve it by keeping everything the exact same or changing direction a little bit, and then take a victory lap for doing nothing. But this isn't just political theater, it's a distraction. While they're celebrating a deal that didn't move the needle, real trade challenges are getting ignored. And the people who actually need help, like families, farmers, workers, they weren't even in the room. Before I get into the main story, which we're doing right now, I want to actually give you some context on what that's about, because this didn't come out of nowhere. Earlier this year, Elon Musk was handed an unprecedented authority inside the federal government under Trump called Doge. I know we all know what that is. And one of the first things he did was shut down USAID. That's the agency that handles America's humanitarian aid to the world. No vote, no hearing, no warnings, just a memo, a press release, and then suddenly, poof, $44 billion in global support was gone. And here's why that matters. USAID isn't charity. It's infrastructure. It funds HIV treatment in Africa. It delivers emergency food during famines. It even helps prevent the spread of cholera after floods and earthquakes. It supports girls' education in places where extremists try to silence them. And yes, sometimes it's the only thing keeping a malnourished child alive. And for decades, USAID has helped stabilize fragile regions and save millions of lives. And Musk knew all of this. Instead, he called the USAID a criminal organization and claimed the money was wasted. So with that said, let's go into our story. Billionaire philanthropist Bill Gates has escalated his public feud with Elon Musk, accusing the world's richest man of killing the world's poorest children. That is a quote. Through what was called reckless and ignorant cuts to the U.S. foreign aid programs, Gates, now launching a plan to give away nearly all of his wealth and shut down the Gates Foundation by 2045, told Financial Times that Musk's cuts weren't just misguided, they were deadly. Gates said the cuts were so abrupt, they left food and medicine expiring in warehouses and could trigger the resurgence of measles, HIV, and polio in the world's most vulnerable areas. He added that Musk canceled grants to hospitals in Gaza province, Mozambique, which prevents mothers from passing HIV to their babies. I'd love for him to go in and meet the children that have now been infected with HIV because he cut the money, Gates said. Let that sink in. The richest man on earth shut down aid programs that were saving lives every day. And now more children are getting infected with HIV. At age 69, Gates has now pledged to spend nearly his entire fortune within the next 20 years. This is a seismic shift in philanthropy. While some billionaires are building rockets or tax shelters, Gates is spending down everything. It's a direct response to what's been lost and what government is no longer doing. Still, Gates acknowledged that private giving can't replace public infrastructure. USAID's budget was $44 billion just last year. The Gates Foundation can't fill that hole. In his open letter, Gates wrote, "People will say a lot of things about me when I die, but I am determined that he died rich will not be one of them." That line hit me because this isn't just about Gates versus Musk. It's about what we believe wealth is for. Musk cut off aid and called it efficient. Gates is trying to clean up the aftermath, and he's asking, who are we really building for? Mars or Earth? The truth is, Gates and Musk represent two very different futures. One is rooted in human need, the other in personal branding. And right now, as foreign aid collapses and disease returns, we have to ask, who are we trusting with global leadership? And are they even looking at this planet anymore? As always, it's so great seeing you and sharing a piece of today's news with you. You can find me right here 24/7. Come give me a follow and say hi, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.